in children and they want to make a difference, right? And so, I'm sure they get counselling, and I'm sure that they're called to do that particular thing. So when you report, you've got to be certainly called to do that sort of thing. So it's better when you're much older too, where your testosterone levels are a bit lower and things like that. So but that's what we need to do to protect it. That's one thing some people can do. And people say, well, what's the point? It's too big, let's just give up. Well, imagine saying that to those police. Look, child pornography is massive, right? It's massive. The drug problem is massive. Let's just all give it up. Let's just succumb to society and the way it is, and let's just do nothing. There too, they've gone hashtag sex. But what they've done is they've just put a little icon just like there, and it goes that way to the left. That's it. Changes straight away. Creating opportunities and atmosphere to speak to your children. I think that's the last slide. Wow. I used to do that. That's not a good way of communicating with your kids. I go like this to my children. Okay, kids, it's that talk time. Could you come and sit down, please? And I put a chair down and go, okay, sit down, and straight away the brick wall came up. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to think of opportunities, right? You've got a lot of information there. Some of it's been very pessimistic, and that's the industry that I'm in, and the organisation, or the ministry I'm in. There are a lot of good things. Let me finish on this. Some of our kids are doing wonderful. They've got great values. They're strong in their value system. Some of them are strong Christians, and there are non-Christians that are strong as well. They're doing wonderful things, and they've got a plan. They've got a foundation. They know where they're going. They're educating themselves. So please keep that in mind. What we've got to realise is that we have a system, an ideology that's ultimately doing its best to change our children, right? And what we need to do as parents, we have that responsibility, is to ensure that we do our very best to protect our children. And at least they have a foundation. Jessica went off the rails for so long. But you know what? When she decided to come back, all she did is look back to the foundation that was already built. But if a child takes off and has nowhere to go, where does it go then? So you've got to build that foundation. I had 2 kids. One did everything right. The other one went off on a different path. But she's back and she's got that foundation. But I'm so blessed that I sowed into my children. I spoke into my children. So my daughters have very strong expectations. When they're looking at their partners, the way they do it, which is again is on me, is they say, hold it, Dad never speaks to Mum like that. That means you can't speak to me like that. We are role models to our children. It's a high calling. If I say to my kids when they were younger, don't scream at each other, you're going to gain nothing, and I turn around and scream at my person I'm supposed to love, do you see what it's hypocrisy in a sense. So if I tell my kids not to swear, do I swear? Do you see there's a high calling to be a good parent? Sometimes we've got to stand in front of a mirror and say, what do I need to change about myself? We're always saying, hold it a second, let's just take an evaluation on ourselves and say, what do I need to improve in my life? How are my communication skills? What am I doing with my partner if you are married? How am I speaking to them? And then so once we fix ourselves up and we've taken that log out, then we have the right to speak in our children's lives. But it's very important, because we can sometimes give advice to our children, but then the second do the complete opposite, and that really isn't fair. So create opportunities. Who's got some ideas? Because we've all got ideas. So I'll do the first one and then we'll finish. In a car, doing the L's, listening to music or listening to a news station, that's an opportunity. You're not looking in their eyes, so there's an opportunity to bring up something. Give me something else. Think about the times you've had opportunities when you've spoken to your kids.
I found I've bought books, give them to a bit of read, and then share the conversation.
Fantastic, excellent.
What did you not understand?
Yeah, great, fantastic. Saves you in a way from approaching those, and then they come to you.
Would you say the opportunity to do it in your own time, try and understand?
Look, there's some great books. You're going to get a list of books that I'm going to give you that you can certainly have. And I have there's more books in that. Focus on the Family has even more books in that. So yeah. So other ideas?
When we're watching movies, if anything inappropriate comes up, I try and use it sort of as a teaching thing.
Awesome.
Especially I've relax the boundaries a little bit, just not
so hard, isn't it?
Fast and furious.
So hard.
And I'm just I'm watching it going, oh, what? But what's that come out of it is a lot of
good conversations
about what, for the girls particularly, what not. You could be so serious and that.
Look, we're pressured as well. We're bombarded. It is tiresome. It's just hard work. Yeah, it's exhausting. It is. Yeah, it is. So yeah.
What's hard is I've got a 12-year-old daughter, and it's going shopping for clothes because they're in that tween stage. She's not a child, you can't take her to the children's, but if you take them to,
Yeah, I know what
you
you're
know,
saying.
the other shops, I mean, the shops are up here and they're showing half the front.
I know. I remember, look, my daughter was, well, she was 17 or 18 at the time, and she would go out, and I'd be sitting down, and Tracy would be sitting down, and she would not bend down to kiss mum. See you later, because she was going to a nightclub. She wouldn't kiss it because it was so short, and I'd be sitting over there, and I'd go, are you serious? And she goes, well, it's their fault, they shouldn't be looking. You know, that was that smart sort of attitude. I just couldn't, you know, we all go through it. Whereas Siobhan was beautiful in the way she dressed. I love them both equally, just different. So, but she's better now, but I understand that. Because the fashion has changed so much. So what happens is, I think a lot of fashion is inappropriate. And what you're saying about those shorts, man, I've seen really young girls wearing shorts like that, and I just think, man, this world is changing. Hurry up and come back, yeah.
But that's
So,
complacency is like what we used to find short. You know, the version of short now is totally different to what we found short,
Yeah.
because they're becoming more complacent, and shops only provide short or
That's
short.
right. That's right.
So the
Yeah.
girls
A lot of
don't-
pressure. Don't have easy answers for those ones, you know, because kids have to be dressed. Yeah.
We use YouTube, as you suggested before. Anytime there's a topic of a bit, we should go there. We look up the day 60s versions of what the kids were sat down and taught in class. And
Wow,
so
wow.
we sit and laugh about that, and then pull
Have
out
the
that in all
conversation.
seriousness, this bit's still the same.
Yeah.
And that's changed, and yeah, okay, that's funny hair, but and that way
Fantastic.
it started a bit light.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's a good way. See, there are so many different ways. Just got to be creative, don't we? Just got to come up with all these ideas. But the important thing is that we engage. I really pray that I've sort of tried to sell that as much as I can tonight. That we've got to talk to our young people. You know, the way in which I talk to my kids is very different than how I'm going to be speaking to Summer, because we're in a different time now. So you know.
Accept that, I think.
Yeah.
And I've been struggling, I went fighting with accepting. It wasn't like that growing up.
There were issues. The issues were around the same things. When testosterone is the same, estrogen is the same. Yeah, but it's because of social media, because of the internet. There are a lot of good things, but my goodness, there are a lot of bad things as well. Look, you guys have been great. I really hope that I've been able to sow something into you. Throw away everything that you think is worthless, but the rest stuff try and keep. And again, there's some paperwork for you that will give you some paperwork with a lot of this stuff and some ideas and some things that you can put on the internet. There's a lot of stuff anyway. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mark, for speaking to us.
Oh, pleasure.
And about some difficult issues. Some of it's a little bit confronting, but it's good for us to know these things so that we're speaking appropriately into our children's lives and relating to them about issues that are of real concern. But I also want to thank you for your honesty as a parent.
Oh, no, that's
We
fine.
appreciate you being vulnerable about your own experiences, and the value in these nights is us coming together as parents, because we're not on our own. Often we feel like we're on our own when we're talking to our own children, but to be able to come and listen and realise that we're all dealing with very similar issues, that's really brings strength to our parenting and strength to our community at the college. So thank you for coming tonight. Thank you to our chaplain, Julian, who organised the seminars today. We really relish the opportunity to speak into children's lives about these really significant issues and into the lives of our parents, because you know we talk a lot about the word partnership, and this is part of our partnership together tonight. So thank you Julian for organising that. The video will be up on our website, available for you to see, and so pass the word around. Go onto our Facebook page and say how wonderful tonight was.
Hopefully there won't be any negative comments coming out of that. I'll be sweating.
Julian has some resources. The rest of the resources that Mark has mentioned tonight, we're going to put up as PDFs under notes and forms in the parent section.
Okay.
So under
Great.
notes and forms, go there. I would love to develop a tile that's called Parent Resources, but that's for 2018. So now they'll be under notes and forms, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much for your input. Thank you. No, not a problem.